On the road for the interstate, past the white lines where the fields roll and the rivers break, you'll find a four-way stop sign, a church on the corner, and a dairy bar. Right in the middle of nowhere, it's the middle of everything I know.
Divisional championship day between the South Jersey Kings and the Mercer Mammoths. A mammoth battle that is going to see the top two teams in the Liberty Division take battle here from Frank Walters Field at Moody Park. I'm Max Raymond alongside Charlie Jones, and this is set to be a clash between the two Titans that have been leading the entirety of the Liberty Division for seemingly the whole season.
Yeah, no, the Mercer Mammoths have been the top in every offensive category. When it comes to the stats, this is a team that just produces when they come to the plate. The pitching has wavered at times, but now come postseason, they have locked in, and they are ready to try and be back-to-back Liberty Division champions in the ECCBL.
And they're going to take on a red-hot South Jersey Kings team that won the semifinal of this divisional segment of the tournament in 7 innings, 15-3, took care of the New Brunswick Matrix.
Yeah, no, the Kings absolutely handled them, and it comes from some of their top guys. You get bombs from Mason Myers, Noah Danza, and Owen Rozzi. When you do that, it's going to be hard to lose a ball game. Those three guys are the top power hitters for the South Jersey Kings. It's no secret why two of them were ECCBL All-Stars. They proved it in their matchup versus the Matrix and handled them in 7. On the other side, for the Mammoths, not so easy. They took it down 4-3 in 10 innings off of Chase Bonner being the hero with an RBI double. Kind of a skate by when it comes to facing the number 4 seed Trenton Generals. Look to see them maybe try and come back with a more familiar offensive performance. 4 runs is not what Rich Carabelli was hoping for. They're going to need a lot more than that to beat the Kings today.
The big thing, though, that everyone needs to keep an eye on in this one is when Rich Carabelli decides to make that pitching change. It was a big conversation with Josh Klena, who ended up giving up 3 runs in his last inning of work. Those were the only 3 runs allowed in the entirety of that game. So when he makes the pitching change, I feel is going to be crucial and something to keep an eye on. Because again, 4-3, there was a low-scoring game, especially because Mercer throughout this season has a high run differential when they play in games against the Generals.
Yeah, no, you're completely correct. You'll look to see him try and manage this pitching staff in a economical and efficient way. We've known that their bullpen has had troubles this year. They'll look to Nick Garbusian to try and go 5 or 6 full innings of work today as the starter to try and propel them to victory.
Well, you've heard enough from us about what we think about their teams. Here are the coaches talking about their squads, first with Carabelli, and then we'll throw it to head coach Tyler Kimmick. And Charlie, you sat down with them, so here are the incredible interviews that you, Charlie Jones, were able to get with the coaches.
Carabelli after their 4-3 win in extra innings after Chase Bonner lifts them to the Liberty Division Championship. Let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about how you made it here yesterday in that crazy game here at Moody Park.
Well, I mean, Chase Bonner, when we found out that, coming from the Chamonix winning a state title, when we were going to have a couple of those guys from that high school, we were super excited. It's just that it was a little bit of a delayed start for him because he, was still playing high school. But when he was able to join, he kind of had like an immediate impact with us. A two-way guy, going to be on the rider, starting shortstop for us, and also being able to come off the mound. It was actually a toss-up of like what we're going to do pitching-wise against the Gens. But Klena did, awesome for us, and Bonner has been heating up at the right time. Where a couple games ago he pokes a home run out of here. And then yesterday he comes up in a spot where I was talking to him before the at-bat. I was like, look, dude, we just need a line drive right over top the infield, and we'll score it for you. And he actually put it over the outfielder's head, so it was a huge spot for him. He came up big for us, and it's great to have him.
Well, Chase Bonner executes in a massive moment to get you guys to the Liberty Division Championship. coming up next here on Jersey Baseball Nation. You take on the South Jersey Kings, the number 2 seed. Only a game separated you in the regular season standings. You guys have the upper hand in the season series, though, 4-2 in the 6 meetings. Tell us a little bit about what you've picked up on the Kings and what you're looking for today.
Yeah, I mean, last time, I was speaking to you, I said that the Kings had, a top team in this whole entire league. I still feel that way. I think they have a lot of talent over there. Kimmick knows how to coach them up, get the best out of those guys. So I'm not surprised that they're here with us. It's going to be a battle, though. I mean, a little bit of rain right now, but hopefully we clean this stuff up and we're able to put on a good showing like we did last night.
You mentioned Josh Klena giving you 6 very strong innings yesterday. You guys only had to use 3 pitchers. Talk to us a little bit about the pitching staff, where we're at with how many guys, the availability, and talk to us and give us the scouting report on your starter.
Yes, starting pitching wise, we had the idea of Klena, Garbushian, and Bonner. Those were the 3 guys that we were going to go with, starting. And the thing is that, we were able to have Ross out the pen yesterday. That we've had Giovanni as a closer for us. So it was nice to kind of be able to get them a little bit of a touch. I mean, Ross went a little bit further than we thought he was going to need to. Klena kind of hit a wall. Pitch count got up a little bit towards the end. But ideally, it's gone exactly how we've drawn it up, and we put ourselves in this position. So I'm confident with the guys that we have. It's just we have to swing for them. We have to play defense for those guys because we know they're going to throw strikes and get us, in that opportunity to win the ball game.
Number 1 seed, Mercer Mammoths, looking to go back-to-back in the Liberty Division right here on Jersey Baseball Nation next. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, bud.
And we're back here at Moody Park as the Mammoths take the field and begin their warm-ups. We'll run through the defensive alignments for Mercer. Left to right, it's Joel Bonner, Jordan Raba, and Zanichi Steve. On the infield, Brandon Law's playing third. Chase Bonner is at short. Q Williams playing second. Buzz Gresh is on first. Jay Slater behind the dish. And it is the Boosh, Nick Garbushian, on the mound, the all-star. He's getting the start in this one. As Boosh will toe the slab. Liam Schwinn will step into the box to lead it off for the Kings. Get your scorebooks ready. This one's underway. First pitch up and in for ball number 1. It is a nice, hot, sunny day here. Frank Walters Field is next pitch, a called strike. Swinging through that one for strike number 2 is Schwinn. That one in the dirt. Excuse me, actually got a piece of it off the bat of Schwinn, so it's a foul ball. The count remains 1-2. As we look back on Garbushian and his last outing pitching, as that one's upstairs. Last time out was against the Matrix back on July 22nd. He went 4 innings of work, allowing 6 earned runs, a home run, and 8 hits. Definitely not the picturesque outing that Garbushian typically has. However, 2 walks and 4 Ks. So he was pounding the zone, but the Matrix, they were able to best him and did a good job of getting the barrel on the balls. The 3-2 over the head of Schwinn, and he will walk, and that'll bring up Bogart. The 2-hitter here in the South Jersey Kings lineup that is featuring 9 guys. On deck is Owen Rozzi, then Danza, Myers, McGinley, Heffernan, Provenzano, and Shabona. As there is no EH in the playoffs, so 9 batters each team gets to plate. As that one's on the ground over to the third, Law will field. He'll get it over to first, where Gresh has got it for the first out of the inning.
Definitely a relief for the Mammoths to find that first out. When the Kings are on the base paths, we know how dangerous they can be. They get a runner into scoring position with that fielder's choice. However, you limit a long at-bat and a chance for them to steal that bag anyway. Solid trade-off for Mercer.
And for the first time this season, it is not Jack Hughes playing first. And after reading the lineups, I still had to second guess to make sure that I was right in saying Buzz Crash over at first.
Yeah, some big changes on the defense for Mercer when you lose 3 ECCBL All-Stars with Ray Mulhern, Adam Clark, and Jack Hughes for arguably your biggest game of the season. It's going to be tough to swallow, but you got to just try and keep on moving forward with the guys you got.
And yet somehow they're just simply able to reload with Buzz Gresh, who we saw what he did against the Trenton Generals, contributing to all 3 of the 4 runs that Mercer scored in that game, the 3 runs in regulation, or the original 9 innings of ball. And then you look around, you see Raba back in the lineup. He's taken over center field in All-Star. And then you got Joel Bonner in left, where Clark has resided. And it really doesn't feel like you're losing much. You're still losing, but it's not as much as some teams might be losing because of just the depth that this squad has. 2-2 to Razi, a home run derby participant and all-star. That one's going to be flared out into left field. Settling under and making the catch is Joel Bonner for the second out of the inning.
Definitely a relief for Bonner out there and left. We've seen a lot of guys in the outfield for the Mercer Mammoths this year. I mean, you go back to day 1, and this outfield looked like Mikey Amorine and right, as well as Zanichi Steve and Jordan Raba. Now things have changed around. You got Joel Bonner out and left, and Steve and right changing around many times. Easy out there.
Ground ball gets booted by Bonner. Coming around to score is Schwinn, and the Kings strike first. They lead it 1-0 off the error by Chase Bonner.
For a guy who's so strong in every aspect of the game, that is certainly an anomaly. You rarely see errors out of Chase Bonner. That one, his first of the ECCBL season through playing half of the regular season. Kind of a shock there, and the Kings are happy to jump on that.
The Kings, the team number 1 in the ECCBL at best squad at taking advantage of mistakes made by their opponents. Every single time the opposing team has made a mistake, whether it's an error, a poor pitch, an overthrow, the Kings have been the best at making them pay for it by somehow finding a way to capitalize on the mistake. And right there again, they immediately get a run in the first run of the game. So 1-0 is now our score, and the count 1-1 with 2 outs. Danza's over on first base, taking a modest lead. As it is Mason Myers at the plate, and the count is now 2-1. Scarbugian, quick check. And Danza gets back safely.
Big news for Mason Myers recently, as he uncommitted from Coastal Carolina earlier in the year, has now found a home still at the D1 level. Will be playing for Fairleigh Dickinson come the spring.
That one's going to be popped up right behind third base. Lal calling for it. He'll make the catch and end the inning. So the Kings strike first. They lead it 1-0, and Mercer will now come up to bat, and we will throw it to a quick lineup. Here are the starting lineup for the Mercer Mammoths.
Karan Williams, second base, Mercer Mammoths, undecided.
Jordan Raba, center field, St. Bonaventure University.
Jay Slater, catcher, Northwestern. Chase Bonner, shortstop, Rider University.
Buzz Gresh, designated hitter, undisclosed.
Joel Bonner, first base, Kutztown University.
Brandon Lowell, third baseman, Monmouth University.
Nick Arbushian, pitcher, Drew University.
Zanichi Steve, outfield, undecided.
Rich Carabelli, head coach, Mercer Mammoths.
Gary Conover, assistant coach, Mercer Mammoths.
We welcome you back to Frank Walters Field at Moody Park as the Kings now take the field, and we'll give you the defensive alignment for them. It's Will Shabona out in left, Mason Myers in center, Owen Rozzi in right. At third base, it's Danza Schwinn playing short, Haffernan's at second, McGinley on first, Provenzano behind the dish, and it's Andrew Forster on the mound in Forster. Going to the college, TCNJ, the College of New Jersey. Last time on the mound was also July 22nd, similar to Garbushian. He pitched 5 innings against the Trenton Generals, allowing 0 runs, 3 hits, no walks, 3 Ks. A really strong outing out of him, as head coach Tyler Kimmick looks to see a similar production today, but of course facing a significantly more challenging lineup in the Mercer Mammoths compared to the lineup that he faced last time in the Trenton Generals. He's got Q Williams, followed by Jordan Raba and Jay Slater, so all-star. As that one gets fouled off and the count is 2-2. Even with 3 all-stars out of the lineup, it's still 3 all-stars to lead it off at the top of the lineup for Mercer, displaying the incredible prowess of the lineup that is standing atop the Liberty Division and looking to go win it and secure back-to-back titles. The count is now full 3-2. This one's going to be looped down the third base line and into left field, and it'll dunk in for a base hit. Running over and grabbing it is Shabona. He's going to fire it in as Q Williams will coast into second, but that grab absolutely saved a bag. As if Shabona was not able to get there, the ball probably would have rattled around in the corner and could have resulted in a triple. So a great play by Shabona to, at the very least, hold Q Williams to simply a double. But that'll bring up Jordan Raba. First pitch, a ball to Raba. Raba, first game back in the lineup following his injury on the 22nd against New Brunswick. As that one's found off in assistant coach and pitch coach Nick Samaras with a great fielding job in foul territory to grab that one. Count is now 1-1 to Raba. Fouling one again down the first base side, and it's a fair ball, In a roll all the way out into right field, Q Williams will come in to score. Raba coasts into second with a double. And so let the hit parade begin.
Number 32, catcher, Jay Slater.
Back-to-back doubles for Mercer as they now even up the score at 1. Now that'll bring up the power threat in Jay Slater. Slater, all-star, home run derby participant, found a way to get one out of the Quakertown ballpark. And for those of you who haven't traveled or don't know about it, that is a ballpark that, while not exactly as deep as Moody Park. Feels like it plays even deeper than Moody Park. There is no life in center field. Any home run attempt towards center, and that derby didn't even seem to come close as foul ball and a swing and a miss in the count 0-2 to Slater as Forster looks to battle for his first out of the inning. He's got Rabba to deal with over on second, who's taken a hefty lead with nobody holding him on. Seemingly could walk all the way to third at this point. This one's going to be chopped over to third. Fielded by Danza. The throw is high. And so McGinley gets pulled off the bag. And the result is an E5. And 2 runners on with still nobody out.
Number 8, shortstop, Chase Bonner.
Trouble keeps on mounting for the Kings. That's a tough play to make, but you got to just try and come through and get that throw a little bit lower. Instead, Mammoths with runners on first and second still threatening for more damage here in the bottom of the first.
First pitch called strike, next pitch swinging is Chase Bonner, who against Trenton was held silent all the way until the 10th. Didn't get a hit, didn't even get a walk, didn't even reach base safely until all of a sudden his time to shine arrived and he left Moody Park as the savior for Mercer. Count now 2-1. Swinging through that for strike number 3. So the count was, 1-2, and that is now strike 3. And so the first out of the inning is recorded as that'll now bring up Buzz Gresh. First pitch called strike. Next one fouled off down the first base line out of play, and the count now 0-2. And Gresh, last time out, seemingly could not get out. Just kept putting the ball in play. Little dink and dunks, dropping them in, base hit after base hit. And so he was able to not only produce with some RBIs, got a base hit, got a run scored, as that one's going to find its way through for another base hit. Raba's going to hold up at third. And so now Gresh continues to stay hot as he loads the bases with one gone.
Man, if Buzz Gresh was red hot the other night, at this point he's a blue flame. In the postseason, he has come on in a massive, massive way. This is a guy who was added midway through the season and has been thrown around just about every position out there. He's worn it well, and now trying to find a new home as well and producing in a big-time way in the postseason.
For those at home that don't know, yes, a blue flame is hotter than a red one. Science rules. Learned that one from Bill Nye. Shout out to Bill Nye. As Joel Bonner's going to lift this one out to center field. Mason Myers will settle under it as Raba's going to tag. The throw's going to be into third. So Rabba will score safely. But that didn't look like to be the usual speed that Jordan Rabba kind of has. He kind of labored in on that one.
Yeah, they'll take the run, but they'll also add on a couple of worries about their star. I mean, anytime you have a guy with that type of speed start to ease up, you got to feel a little bit worried.
He was kind of easing all the way around when he was running from home to second, when he was running from second to third on the Gresh. single that I thought with his usual speed, he might have scored on that play alone. But we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Ramba and his ability to move as Mercer takes the 2-1 lead. Brandon Law fouls that one off. And so the count is now 1-2. Jay Slater hanging around on second base. He reached on an error. Buzz Gresh singled over on first and has contributed once again to another Mercer Mammoths run scored as he moved Raba over to third, which then allowed him to score on the sac fly. And the count is now 2-2 to Brandon Law. That one just off the plate. 3-2, 2 outs. As Forster looks to get out of this inning. Runners take off. That one fouled out of play, and so we'll see another 3-2 with 2 gone, and Mercer, a response. We'll see if they can now hold the lead potentially or tack on a few more even before that. Fouled off again. Count remains 3-2.
This is what Mercer does best. Fight, fight, fight to see another pitch and then make the other team pay for it. Brandon Law just keeping up with the Mercer Mammoths MO.
The 3-2 once more. That one breaks in there and got him looking strike 3. And so that'll put an end to an inning of play. Mercer leads South Jersey 2-1, and we're going to throw it to the South Jersey Kings lineup.
My name is Liam Schwinn. I'm playing shortstop today, and I go to Stockton University.
I'm Jason Bogar. I'm DH today, and I'm going to Rowan University.
I'm Owen Rozzi. I'm playing right field, and I'm going to University of Pittsburgh.
Noah Danza. I'm playing third and going to Mississippi State.
My name is Mason Myers. I'm playing center field. I'm going to Fairleigh Dickinson.
My name is Mike McGinley. I'm playing first base, and I go to Rutgers Camden.
My name is Sean Heffernan. I'm playing second base, and I go to Mount St. Mary's University.
Frank Provenzano, catcher, Holy Family University.
Will Shabona. I'm playing left field today, and I'm going to Dickinson College.
Nick Benson, pitching coach, South Jersey Kings.
Connor Stanowski, first base coach, vibes guy, South Jersey Kings.
Tyler Kimmick, head coach, South Jersey Kings.
It'll be Michael McGinley, followed by Heffernan and Provenzano, the 3 that will be due up here in the top of the second as South Jersey now has to build a response to Mercer, who is able to just get the hit parade going as the fireworks are already starting to shoot off. The leftover fireworks from July 4th as these teams were certainly saving for playoffs, and now they're letting them loose.
Yeah, the Mammoths did such a good job in that first inning to build themselves a lead, put themselves in front through 1. When they get out to an early lead, they are nearly unstoppable. Sometimes they start a little slow and take a little bit to warm up the engine. Not today, though, with 2 in the first.
So the Kings will look to now have to tie the game up. And I'll start with Michael McGinley. That one up and in for a ball. Once again, it's McGinley, Heffernan, Provenzano. 6, 7, and 8 to face Garbusian as that one's lifted in the left center. It's going to get down for a base hit, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Coasting into second with the double is McGinley. And if you want a response, and your head coach Tyler Kimmick looking for your team to respond, That is exactly what you want to see out of your leadoff man.
Yeah, no, that was a perfect hit for Mike McGinley. Not just exactly where he hit, but with the power that we've seen him show at Moody Park, already with a homer this year. Drove that one all the way to the wall and able to easily pull into second. Another runner into scoring position for the Kings. They were able to strike in the first, looking to do more here in the second.
As Heffernan is going to pop this one up, Raba's going to be able to jog in and make the catch for the first out of the inning. And unfortunately, that is right around the only area in the outfield that you could put a ball that wouldn't advance McGinley to the next base.
Number 13.
Yeah, that one's tough. Just couldn't get all of it. He was right on time with it. Just a little bit under it. Pops it right up in the air. And it wasn't necessarily an easy run for Jordan Robinson, but because of that speed that he boasts, able to get to it and get the first out.
And he didn't look all too troubled or pained on that run. It almost leads me to believe that he's not running at 50, not 50, but like 75-ish% because he's hurt, as that one's going to get into center field. And advancing to third on the error is McGinley. But what I was saying is that it looks like Raba is running because he's almost nervous about re-injuring himself rather than actually still injured.
Yeah, that's especially a fair concern. With a back injury like that, it can flare up at any moment. Got to just stay careful while still trying to give it your all. You know, this is win or go home. Your season could end today. Rob is obviously going to give it 110% every time he's running out there, but I can't imagine it feels comfortable at any moment for him.
Definitely not a conscious, I'd say, decision that he's not running full speed, as he's absolutely giving his all, but you've also got to make sure you take care of yourself. And this is true at any and all levels when guys are playing through injuries. They are given 100% of whatever they've got. If they've got 75% that day, 80% that day, they're giving 100% of whatever they've got, and Raba absolutely is doing that. It's just how much does he have still left in his ability today, as that one's lifted out to left field again. Joel Bonner on his horse can't get there. It'll bounce up against the wall. Motoring into second with a double is Frank Provenzano, as McGinley will come in to score, and South Jersey will tie this game back up at 2.
Number 6, left fielder Will Shaw.
Another perfectly placed hit. Very similar to Michael McGinley's. That time, just over the head of Joel Bonner. Another double, another runner into scoring position, and another one that comes home, tying this game up. Kings are matching that offensive firepower of the Mammoths well so far in the early stages.
Will Shabona now up to bat. The 9-hitter before it flips back over to Liam Schwinn. And the count 1-0 already on him. That one breaks into the zone for a called strike. This Garbusian's really got a nice slider slurve pitch that he loves to put on display. Incredible break and bite behind it. That one looped third base line. It'll reach the walking path out of play. And so the count is now 1-2. The just big question with him is that can that pitch break in the way that he needs it to get the outs? As we see a lot of times when it just ends up being a spinner and doesn't move, that's when it gets hit. Or if he's hanging a fastball in there, because his fastball plays off well on his breaking ball, but if it's hung in the zone, it's not going to help much. A slow roller to Chase Bonner. He gets it to first, and Buzz Gresh digs it out of the ground in time for the second out.
Heck of a pick by Gresh over at first. I mean, that is not a normal first baseman. He plays it occasionally, but this is primarily a catcher or left fielder. Making plays like that, real nice stuff from Buzz Gresh. And a nice throw from Chase Bonner as well to zip it in there and get that second out.
Liam Schwinn now back in the box for his second at-bat of the day. He walked his first time up as one's in there for a strike. Walked, advanced to second on a ground ball, and then came around to score on an error. So he's got 2 strikes against him now. The 0-2 from Garbusian. That one misses the zone. The count 1-2 with 2 outs, and this one tied up at 2s now. South Jersey finds a way to score in back-to-back innings and looks to go from 1 run in the first to 2 runs in the second. Pop straight up. It'll stay in the infield. Calling for it is Chase Bonner. He'll make the catch and put an end to the inning. But South Jersey ties it back up at 2. As Mercer will come to bat with the score once again evened up when we return here on Jersey Baseball Nation. Bottom 2, and the score evened at 2s as we take a look at the ECCBL playoff bracket. And we see right now, of course, this game between Mercer and the South Jersey Kings, and going on the other side of the bracket with first pitch starting right around now. It's the Pocono Timber Rattlers taking on Southside in the Keystone Division Championship game.
Winner of that will face the winner right here tomorrow at Quakertown, right here on Jersey Baseball Nation as well, your home of the ECCBL.
So now to lead it off for Mercer, it's going to be Garbusian. It'll be Garbusian, followed by Zanichi Steve, before then Q Williams will get his second AB of the day. Garbusian listed as the pitcher and DH, so when he comes out as a pitcher, he can remain in the batting order as the DH. The first pitch he sees called a strike, and the count 0-1. Swinging through that one of the count now quickly 0-2 as Andrew Forster heads out for another inning of work. 29 pitches in his first inning. He's going to look to have to be a bit more economical if he wants to go deep into this one, as that one is outside and the count is now 1-2, and certainly you want to be careful against, especially against these strong hitters, but you've got to think at where the pitch count is now that 0-2 might be a great spot to throw a strike. Is that one? Provenzano thought was strike 3, but it was called the ball, and so the count is even at 2s. The 2-2. Upstairs, and the count runs full once again. Another 3-2 count, and a big reason why Forster's pitch count is so high is because Mercer loves to work the count full. The 3-2. Swung on it and missed. Strike 3, got him swinging for the first out of the inning, as Garbusian is not too pleased with that at-bat, but now we'll step Zanichi Steve.
Yeah, despite the pitch count creeping up for Andrew Forster, no problem throwing strikes. 23 so far on 34 pitches. This was the guy who was number 2 in the state of New Jersey in high school in strikeouts this season, and you can see why. Just able to fire pitches in at such a very accurate and efficient rate. Bringing down Garbusian for the first out.
Called strike, and the count even at 1s, or as you like to say, candlesticks. It's a beautiful line. I've tried to keep it yours, but I just couldn't contain myself today. Fouled off, and they count now 1-2. The 1-2. Just off the outside corner and maybe a little low, and so the count is now even at 2s. Forster will kick and deal, and that one gets fouled off. Zanichi Steve looks to keep the trend of never say die. Battle till the end of time. The 2-2. From Forster to Steve. He's going to be lifted into right field and get down for a base hit. Steve will round first and head to second. He's going to pull up with another double as Mercer continues to run up the hit count. That is hit number 5 on the day and double number 3 for the Mammoths. They've got a guy on second with only 1 out.
Real strong hit there for Zanichi Steve. You know, Mammoths only had 9 hits in that 4-3 nail-biter win over the Gens in the semifinals. Now already with 4 hits in the first time through the order. Rich Carabelli's got to be much happier with the offensive output early on today.
As that one's going to get fouled off and reach the parking lot. Q Williams, who doubled his first time up and then scored on a Jordan Raba double, steps into the box. And yeah, it was 9 hits in 10 innings for Mercer last time out. Today, 5 hits already. They've had more than half that. As Forster continues to pound the zone, but with, again, the pitch count climbing, this is definitely a spot where you could just throw a strike and save a couple of pitches. The 0-2 skips in the dirt, gets away, and so advancing to third is Zanichi Steve, and now a sac fly can score and produce another RBI and Mercer a lead.
It's those little things that start to really add up over time. The things that lead to extra runs, and Zanichi Steve has the speed to make them pay for it.
The 1-2. Line right back up the middle. Grabbing it is Schwinn over to first. In time, a great play there by Liam Schwinn. Zanichi Steve will come in to score, and Mercer will take the lead. But an incredible play there by Liam Schwinn to cut down the speedy Q Williams and get the second out of the inning.
Yeah, the main story is Mercer taking the lead once again. But you got to give credit to Liam Schwinn. Real nice scoop. And an even better throw to get that second out and keep the Speedy Williams off the base paths. Get that second out and give yourself a chance to get out of the inning as quick as possible. So crucial against the Mammoths, who can keep on compounding offensive firepower.
All season long, we've seen, hard ground ball, base hit, back up the middle. Back up the middle has seemingly just been a great place to kind of put the ball, because the way that it comes off these wood bats with such a velocity and speed, it's a real tough play to make, and yet somehow Liam Schwinn, the human vacuum, is able to get over there, collect it, and fire to first in just the nick of time to cut down Q Williams. So that'll bring up Jordan Raba with nobody on. The count is now, after that foul ball, 2-2 with 2 outs, and Forster needs that strike 3, hoping to get out, especially because we know that Mercer loves to produce 2-out rallies. So, strike 3, out number 3 is ever crucial when playing the Mammoths. That one's going to be popped up. Provenzano at first thought he had a chance, but it'll get out of the field of play, and it'll just be a foul ball. And Raba, again, battling. Everybody on this Mercer team is battling. One upstairs, and the count runs full. The 3-2 with 2 gone. Called strike 3, got him looking. And so we are done with 2 innings of play, and the Mercer Mammoths lead South Jersey 3-2. It'll be the top of the 3rd when we return here on Jersey Baseball Nation. Leading it off for South Jersey is the number 2 hitter, Jason Bogart. Following him will be Owen Rossi and then Dezana. 2-3-4 for South Jersey as they once again will start up another inning of batting down by 1. One and 2 the count. Garbusian will kick. And dealing that one upstairs. He's got a real violent kick. The way that he kind of just moves around. It's so intriguing to watch him pitch. But at the same time, such a beautiful cadence to it. You know, he sets up, comes set, lean back, rock, 1-2, up, and then throws. It's just such a beautiful, graceful dance. That one will be fouled off, and the count remains full at 3-2 to Jason Bogart. Bogart is 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out 5-3. As he'll work a walk and get aboard, as a little bit of emotion being shown by Nick Garbusian still.
And that second inning, you can see him slam the rosin bag down, punch himself a couple times in the thigh, and get back to work. Now you can really see the frustration starting to set in. You can hear it, too. He knows how much this game means to both him and his team. You know, these college players, they're not always going to have a chance to win a conference championship, be in a postseason environment at the collegiate level. A chance to do here could mean so much to them, and Garbusian doesn't want to let his team down. The off walk is something that you can limit, though, and try and keep the damage at 0 here in the top of the 3rd.
But, of course, though, you've got to still keep in mind the fact that you've got to control your emotions. As here's a ground ball back to him, and he's going to throw it, and Q Williams with a great backup as everyone ends up safe. Garbusian tried to rush the throw to second, threw it errantly. However, Q Williams wisely was backing it up. He grabs the ball, saving the extra base that Jason Bogart would have picked up, then threw it to first, nearly getting Owen Razi out. So it'll be a fielder's choice E1, as the throw was errant, and a great job there by Q Williams backing it up.
He can really see the frustration starting to mount and build to a climax for Nick Garbusian. Punching his glove, throwing the rosin bag down emphatically. Can't let that extra base runner on, and he knows that that mistake is charged to him.
That one's going to be a slow roller to Chase Bonner, who's able to get it to third and Brandon Lull for the first out of the inning. So great heads-up play there by Bonner to go in the way of his momentum.
Number 23, center fielder, Mason Myers.
Yeah, really nice play from Chase Bonner. And that's why he's going to the D1 level. The awareness that he has in all facets of the game is so crucial, showing it off right there once again. To be able to get that lead runner and still only have one runner in scoring position rather than two, it may not seem like much, but if this ends up a 1 or 2 run game, that's the difference right there.
Well, that was the only place you really could have gone, because to be able to try and flip your hips to get it to second or even across the diamond to first is nearly impossible for anyone at any level. That is a challenging play to make to either base. So, fortunately, that when put in that situation, Bonner is able to go to third to make the out, because otherwise he's probably just eating that up if he had to go to second or first. So, great heads-up play to wisely not only get the out at third, but also recognize that while maybe you have more time to get it across the diamond, it's a significantly harder throw to make. So 0-2 with now 1 out, and 2 runners still on, and a 3-2 Mercer lead. So it's Mason Myers in the box, the 5-hitter for South Jersey. So that one slipped out of the hands of Garbusian, and it is a ball for ball 1.
This back and forth battle, trading off that lead. The one team that's going to be able to break through could be the one to win it.
Quick back pick over on first. The ball beat him, however, not able to make that play. It is strike 3.
Number 8, first baseman, Michael McGinley.
So 2 outs are now recorded, and that'll bring up Michael McGinley, who doubled to lead off last inning and came around to score what had been the tying run before Mercer then put up another to take the 3-2 lead. And McGinley swings at the first pitch. It's popped up. It's over to the first base side. Gresh is calling for it. He's got it, and that is out number 3. So a runner on second and nobody out, and South Jersey cannot score. Mercer still leads it when they come to bat.
There was an error and 2 left.
In the bottom of the third when we return here from Jersey Baseball Nation. Bottom 3 and leading it off. The Northwestern man covered in that beautiful purple helmet and shin guard, leg guard, excuse me. It's Jay Slater. Jay Slater, 3-hitter to lead it off. The first pitch, swinging and lifting this one into shallow right field. Rozzy drifting in. He'll be there to make the catch, and 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's how you start an inning that has to be economical. If you're Andrew Forster, who at 52 now 53 pitches is certainly at the very least halfway through, if not right around that 3/5 area of his pitch count. And then follows it up with another strike. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes coming out pounding the zone immediately.
Forster is going to be very happy for the defense behind him. The hope is that he can go at least 5 full innings of work, similar to the expectations for Nick Garbusian on the other side. Those plans could get derailed with yet another long inning, though, as we see some arms starting to walk their way down to the bullpen. Just something to keep an eye on. Andrew Forster has been lights out for South Jersey all year. They got to keep him on the mound as long as they can. Defense backing him up well to do so.
Fouled off, and the count remains 0-2. Waves at that one. They're going to say he did. Provenzano picks up the ball, flips to first for out number 2.
Yet another strikeout for Andrew Forster. That one, his 5th of the day already. No secret that that's the name of his game, trying to punch out batters, doing it once again right there.
Is that one another hit for Buzz Grash as he continues to produce. Cannot get out is Buzz Grash.
Yeah, with Forster firing strikes in there so often, Gresh picked up that first pitch really well. First pitch, best pitch sometimes. Gresh hopped right on it and smacked up the middle, just past the diving stretch of Liam Schwinn to keep this inning alive. You mentioned it. The Mammoths love 2-out rallies. Trying to pull off another one here.
First pitch, a ball. Fouled off. Count even at once. To Joe Bonner, who had a sac fly RBI, drove in Jordan Raba to take the 2-1 lead back in the first inning, as Garbusian, through all the stress and troubles, was able to get the first 0 in an inning on the day, as Bonner's going to lift that one into right field. Buzz Gresh, not the fastest guy, is going to hold up on second. And so just like that, 2 on with 2 outs. And again, I alluded to it last inning, Mercer loves their 2-out rallies.
Yeah, already with 2 hits with 2 outs here in this inning. They're just seeing the ball so much better than they did the other night against the Gens. And that's going to happen when you face a pitcher like Dan Nafsing or Ford Trenton. But still, another very strong pitcher here with Forster, and they're just getting to him.
That one lifted into left field, and Will Shabona is going to get there and make the catch to put an end to the inning. And so, first 2 innings, all runs. Third inning, nothing. So we'll head to the top of the 4th when we return here on Jersey Baseball Nation.
Top of the fourth here from Moody Park in Ewing. Charlie Jones alongside Josh Yuhas and Max Raymond for the ECCBL Liberty Division Championship. Winner moves on to the League Championship tomorrow in Quakertown, Pennsylvania at Quakertown Memorial Park. That championship game starting at 1 p.m. right here on Jersey Baseball Nation, or live in person. You can catch it at Quakertown Memorial Park. Here in the top of the fourth, Kings coming back to the plate, trying to get back to the hitting ways that they had. Struck for one apiece in the first and second. Now find themselves down one here in the top of the fourth. As Sean Heffernan swinging on the first pitch. That one stays fair.
Wow.
It just keeps on rolling down the third base line, and no one picked it up. Garbusian watched it. Law watched it. He thought he was going to trail off to the left, but as Tyler Kimmick pointing the finger out there and saying, that one is staying fair.
And that's just a perfect bit of luck that they've needed. They only had 2 hits up to this point, and you get that kind of swinging bunt style where you have those foul balls, you chop them down the line, and you always kind of presume they're going to go foul. But because of the rain, I think that's allowed for this dirt to be a little bit more smooth for that ball to roll, and kept that way fair, and they get another base hit. And with nobody down and a guy that you can get some base hits off, if you can get some good hard contact, you can put some pressure on him. There's a chance for the Kings here to try and get a run back and bring this game to tied.
Provenzano lifts that one out towards left field. Diving catch out there and left by Joel Bonner. A web gem to rob an extra base hit from Frank Provenzano. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Sports Center right there. Beautiful stuff from Joel Bonner to get that first out and keep Provenzano off the base paths.
Just a great read from Bonner. He got a good jump on it. That helped cover a little bit of that space that he needed. He's got a good frame as well, so it covers a little bit more distance. But it also takes timing. And that's a really good job of taking that time and getting a good read on a liner that was very flat. It was staying very straightforward, sometimes hard to read as an outfielder. He gets that dive down and makes the play, and that's huge because you want to limit where these base runners are across this game. Great job from Joel Bonner.
Runner in motion. Heffernan sliding into second safely. Throw was a little bit low to Bonner trying to cover second base. It's the first stolen base of the day for the South Jersey Kings, a team that loves to steal. Hasn't been able to use it to their advantage as much today against the Mercer Mammoths in that quick delivery out of Nick Garbusian.
Yeah, and it's also Jay Slater behind the plate. If you go back to their last game against the Generals, they could not run on Jay Slater because he was putting dime of a throw after dime of a throw where even the greatest stealers in this league, like Lucas Albert, had to slide outside and still couldn't get in the bag safely. So a very dangerous thing, and they had Klena on the mound there, so he had a more high leg kick. You have a guy that's a little bit faster in Garbusian. It's as hard as to get stolen bases, so got to give credit to the Kings staying aggressive despite that trend and taking advantage.
2-1 from Garbusian, lifted out towards right field, collected by Zanichi Steve. The throw goes to third, but Heffernan will easily speed in there to snag the extra bag. Second out of the inning recorded there as the Kings move the base runner 90 feet closer to home.
And that's why you get aggressive. Sure, there's the trade-off of Slater's got a really good arm. He's thrown out a lot of runners this playoff. But when you're able to get that person to that second base spot, it can be huge because that could have been a standard flyout if he had not stolen that base. Instead, a sac fly and you get yourself on third base just 90 feet away.
Well, that might drive in the run right there, as instead a jumping catch by Joel Bonner. He misread it off rip. However, he robs Will Shabona of an RBI hit right there. Nice solid jump to snag that one out of the air for the third out. Couple solid plays by Joel Bonner in the outfield here in the top of the fourth. Kings end up scoreless in the away half of the frame. We head to the home half where the Mammoths try and extend on their lead, currently leading 3-2 here in the Liberty Division Championship on Jersey Baseball Nation. Back here in the bottom of the fourth, as you take a look at the 2026 ECCBL postseason bracket. Mercer Mammoths taking on the South Jersey Kings right here live on the Liberty Division side. On the Keystone Division side, it's the number 1 seed Southside taking on the number 3 seed Pocono Timber Rattlers. Southside up 2-0. They were the winner out of the Keystone Division last year. Could see a repeat of the top 2 teams in the ECCBL from last year in the championship this year. Mammoths won the Liberty Division last year, trying to stay the reigning champions going into next year of the Liberty Division, and already on their way to do that. A 3-2 lead they carry into the bottom of the fourth, as it's Garbusian, Steve, and then back to the top of the lineup for Q Williams due up. So 8, 9, and 1 with Garbusian, the man at the plate right now, in a 1-1 count, as Forster kicks and fires. That slider just missing outside. Count moves to 2-1. Garbusian struck out swinging his first time up. One of the 5 strikeout victims of Andrew Forster today. 2-1 offering. Slapped down the first base side, but foul.
And Gogolski's a guy that Tyler Kimmick has turned to quite often, the lefty, in this lefty-lefty kind of run that he's going to have in this lineup. You have Garbusian, you have Steve, and then even though there's Q Williams, if it gets there, it's Raba right after him. So this is exactly where you want to pull out that lefty, especially with how Forster was getting hit pretty hard. He had 6 hits. The Mammoths put up 3 runs. That's honestly a win considering how hard they were hitting him.
Hey, you're completely right. The new arm out there is Anthony Gogolski. Andrew Forster's day is done. Final line for him, 3 full innings of work. 6 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. 62 pitches, 44 of them in there for strikes. Full count pitch. Garbusian held up, but they'll say it's a cold strike 3. So Garbusian down looking for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. First strikeout of the appearance for Anthony Gogolski, and there's 1 away.
And that's exactly how you want to start it, because you have a guy who crushed the ball the last time in Zanichi Steve, and here at Moody, he crushes the ball just in general. He's got some good power, and he's got great speed as well. So you keep that guy off the base pass, you get a strikeout rather, and you steal an out away from the Mammoths, where you're going to need to find every little way to get this team out, because it seems like no matter what, they always find a way.
Yeah, Steve had that double his last time up and came in to score as well, as he grounds this one out past the outstretched arm of Sean Heffernan at second base. It's another hit for Zanichi Steve, and he keeps up the momentum that the Mammoths have had offensively. 7th hit of the day for the team, 2nd for Zanichi Steve.
And that's exactly why that strikeout was so crucial to start the inning. You get Garbusian out, and now it's just a runner on first. It is Zanichi Steve on first, but still, going to that hit, though, you have to give credit to Steve. It crushed that one hard on the ground, and it's just out of the reach of Heffernan.
Big swing and miss there for Q Williams. Taking his 3rd plate appearance of the day. Doubled his first time up past the left fielder's head. Will Shabona out there. All he could do was watch and chase that ball down. 2nd time up. Grounded out. This time he slaps it over to the 3rd base side. They fire over to 2nd for 1. Fire over to 1st. Not in time. Williams beats it out over at 1st. However, they do get the fielder's choice and send Zanichi Steve packing off the base paths. Gunning down that lead runner. Nice throw there from Noah Danza over at 3rd base to get the 2nd out.
And that's a play you have to make in these games, and you got to make sure that you're composed. You don't want to allow any extra bit on the margins. Danza does a good job. He fields it cleanly. He throws it over to Heffernan and gave him a chance to get Q Williams at first, but just too much speed. And this inning will continue.
As you mentioned, Williams able to beat that out and bring up Jordan Raba. 2nd in the lineup today, one of the best hitters in the ECCBL, arguably the best hitter for the Mercer Mammoths. 1 for 2 with a double as well, as he pops this one up. Decent run for Liam Schwinn. Ends up being called off by Will Shabona to get the 3rd out. The bottom of the 4th, in blistering pace, sees the Mercer Mammoths unable to put up any extra. As we head to the top of the 5th, let's hear from Kings head coach Tyler Kimmick. Jersey Kings, the number 2 seed in the Liberty Division, Tyler Kimmick. Tyler, you guys win 15-3 over the New Brunswick Matrix yesterday. You get 3 bombs from some of your top guys. Tell us a little bit about how you advanced to the Liberty Division championship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can draw it up any more perfect. Like, we got a great pitching performance out of Aiden Emmerich and CJ Dada. They kept us in the batter's box a long time, kept the matrix on the field for a while. Right? I think that had a lot to do with it. I said in the beginning, pitching and defense is going to win this league. And to start the playoffs with 5 innings out of your starter, 2 innings out of reliever, and being able to get out of there in 7, the offense does what the offense does. I mean, you're looking at a middle of the order of Rozzy, Danza, Myers. That's going to do a lot of damage. But guys like Griffin Clark, Sean Heffernan, Will Sabone towards the bottom of the order, some of the unsung heroes of the lineup. I mean, Jason Bogart has been fantastic being a table setter for that middle of the order. We were just firing on all cylinders yesterday, and we did what we needed to do and set ourselves up for success moving forward in the playoffs.
Now let's turn the attention to the Liberty Division Championship. You faced the Mercer Mammoths 6 times this season. A game was the only separator between you and the number 1 seed in the regular season. You're very familiar with Rich Carabelli and Mercer. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling going into this championship.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think we're in a good spot, especially pitching-wise. But they're a good team. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. And I think if you look back at some of our games, with the exception of the one blowout at Camden County, the first time we played them this summer, the games have been close. They've been competitive. They're going to be good baseball games. I expect this game to be a close-scoring game, a lot of key moments out of the arms. And like I said earlier, it's going to be whoever pitches and makes the least amount of mistakes defensively. Whoever can do that is going to win the game. And I think we got a good shot to do it. But that's a good team over there in that first base dugout. And it's going to be a good one. We should give you guys some good baseball.
You heard Tyler Kimmick say it right there. We're going to give you some good baseball, and the Kings have done just that. Mercer Mammoths in front 3-2 as we head to the top of the 5th. Mammoths the 1 seed, Kings the 2 seed. As Nick Garbusian back out there once again on the mound. This one popped up over towards the first base side and gloved down by Buzz Gresh for the first out in foul territory. So Mason Myers will have to take the jog back to the dugout. And there's one away here in the top of the 5th. Bogart retired, Then Rozzy coming up now, and then Noah Danza waiting in the wings. The power part of the order for the Kings coming up here to try and tie this game up or take the lead. First pitch from Garbusian, upstairs and out.
If you want to wake that offense up, this is the section of the lineup to do it. Rozzy leads this team in RBIs, has been a stellar power bat for them. And then Noah Danza, as good of a prospect as you're going to find. A good pairing to have back-to-back to try and break Garbusian.
Rozzy, the number 4 outfielder in the state of Pennsylvania, will be playing at Pittsburgh come the spring as he takes that pitch for a ball. The count now 3-0 with 1 away and no one on. Mammoth still up 3-2 after they scored 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Since then, it's been blanks for both sides in the 3rd and the 4th. The Kings trying to break that trend here, though. 3-0. Just downstairs, it's a 4-pitch walk issued to Owen Rozzy as he flips the bat, takes off the equipment, and jogs down to first. It's a 1-out base runner for the Kings, trying to get that offense started once again.
That's a good at-bat. You may only have 2 hits on the game so far, or 2 or 3 hits, but you hit it hard the last inning. You got some good hard contact off of Garbusian, and now you get a runner on with 1 down, and you get Danza up. This is your spot to capitalize if you're the Kings to try and flip this game back into your side, which we've seen a couple times this game where it's gone back and forth.
First pitch from Garbusian, downstairs to Noah Danza. Not enough good things you can say about this guy. He's got every accolade to his name. He's a winner everywhere he goes. 4 straight non-public B state titles at Gloucester Catholic. 4 years, 4 state championships as he takes that 1-0 pitch for a strike. Count evens up at Candlesticks. Danza, originally a top 125 MLB draft prospect, instead decided to go the college route. Pulled out of the 2026 MLB draft in Philadelphia and will be making his way to Mississippi State come the fall.
It's a pretty good decision, I would say.
1-1 upstairs.
Sure, the draft is great. It's a great opportunity, but I think either way it was a win for Danza. If he goes into the draft, you put yourself in that draft pool, you see how it plays out, and you get signed and you work your way up the system. But you go to college, you go to Mississippi State, you get that high-level college experience. Either way, he's going to get a good baseball development path, and I think that's something that he's been able to find here a little bit, get some development before he goes into that season. It's always great to have some of those kind of high-caliber guys here in the ECCBL. He's one of them, and a chance here with a hitter's count to be that guy.
Garbusian checks on first, kicks and fires the 3-1 to Danza, up and over his head. A 4-pitch walk to Owen Rozzi, then a 5-pitch walk to Noah Danza sees the Kings put yet another runner in scoring position. So far, 2 for 5 today with runners in scoring position. Those 2 hits not helping. A chance to try and break that streak, though, and tie this game up or take the lead with Mason Myers coming to the plate.
Especially with the Mammoths pitching staff, any window you're going to find in the game, have to take advantage of. And right now, Garbusian's control is a bit off. As you had talked about, 4-pitch walk and then a 5-pitch walk. And it's already a ball to start this count. And a guy in Myers who's pretty disciplined and can get some good contact. So if you're the Mammoths, you have to be a little bit worried right now.
Big whiff there for Mason Myers to even count up at 1. As we mentioned earlier, Myers previously decommitted from Coastal Carolina, now has found a home at Fairleigh Dickinson University at the Division I level. 1-1 from Garbusian with 1 out. As he fires a beautiful slider in towards home plate for a called strike. Garbusian's pitch count starting to tick up. A little bit of movement over in the Mercer Mammoths bullpen, but nothing too serious. This is his inning. Rozzi on second, Danza on first. As Garbusian checks on both and fires the 1-2. Myers lifts this one out towards left field. Couple of back pedals for Joel Bonner. He's able to get it on a high-reaching grab. That one almost snuck over his head, but instead able to pull it out of midair for the second out.
Yeah, and that's a tough play because he got stuck in a back pedal, and then you're kind of handicapped. Once you start that back pedal, you got to make sure that you're getting your hands and eyes coordinated all together. He gets a good read on it, he gets his arm up, and makes the play. Another kind of ending that we're seeing from the Kings. They're getting hard contact off of Garbusian. It's just not really falling their way yet. You never know, though, and it's a guy who has a good swing here today in Mike McGinley.
Yeah, so far, 1 for 2 with one of the many doubles in this game. And with this being a crucial spot, very impactful moment in this Liberty Division Championship. Every pitch is crucial here. You never know when the Kings are going to be able to strike. Those 2 hits and 2 runs on the scoreboard are not indicative of the offense that they're able to produce. Against the New Brunswick Matrix in the semifinal round, they won 15-3 in 7 innings with 17 hits to boot, trying to find a little bit of that offense that they used in that victory tonight.
And I mean, there's a reason these are the 2 top teams of the Liberty side and why they made it their way to the Liberty final. Because the Mercer Mammoths, we've talked about all season, as strong of an offense as you can find. And then the Kings, they have that power, they have that speed to really take advantage.
Small looper for McGinley, almost over the head of Buzz Gresh. Instead, he's able to collect it for the 3rd out. Another situation where the Kings get base runners on, but are unable to capitalize. We head to the home half of the 5th. Mercer Mammoths trying to tack on more and bolster that 3-2 lead when we return. Bottom of the fifth, and Anthony Gogolski back out there once again for the South Jersey Kings. Charlie Jones alongside Josh Yuhas and Max Raymond. Happy you can join us for this rescheduled game of the 2026 Liberty Division Championship in the East Coast Collegiate Baseball League. The 2-seed South Jersey Kings, 2, the number 1 seed Mercer Mammoths out of the Liberty Division, with 3 trying to tack on more to that lead here in the home half of the fifth. Right in the favorite part of the lineup for Rich Carabelli and the Mammoths, Jay Slater, Chase Bonner, and Buzz Gresh, 3, 4, and 5 due up for the reigning Liberty Division champions. First pitch from Gogolski, slapped away, foul down the third base side. Last year, Mammoths 19-9 in the Liberty Division. This year, 19-9-1, tacking on an extra tie. Very similar performance, very similar team, very similar way they've got it done, being an offensive powerhouse among the league stats.
I mean, it's pretty much as close as you can get to replicating it as you can. And it's just the offensive guys that they've been able to put together, whether it's the All-Stars who aren't here today or the All-Stars that are, they have just had prolific performances throughout, whether it's a guy that's coming from high school or a guy who's been here the whole year.
1-1 shot out towards left by Jay Slater, able to be caught by Will Chabon on a couple of steps backward for the first out. Slater has that big-time Big Ten power. Just missed that ball barely there that time for the first out.
He was so close to getting that one, just that bit under it that keeps it in the ballpark. But with this Mammoth side, they've had to fight through so much. It feels like at the beginning of the season, it was such a different narrative because it was back when Mikey Amerheim went down, and then it was Kevin Stewart that went down. They had a couple of injuries kind of piling up, and now it's really kind of been put on the back burner because of what the guys that they filled in have been able to do, how they've been able to put the Mammoths into this position to where they're the 1 seed. They're in control of this game right now, and they have a chance to go back to that final and get that chance to actually play it out.
Frank Provenzano shaken up a little bit here after that ball kicked up off the dirt and hit him near the chin. Yeah, you're completely right. A lot of different guys in the outfield for the Mammoths, and it hasn't been easy sledding this year. You look at all the guys who have been in that outfield for them. Adam Clark, Ray Mulhern, Jordan Raba. Q Williams has even played the outfield.
He's played the outfield a bit.
Zanichi Steve, Chase Bonner. Slade Harrell has been out there a couple times. Anthony Crudeau, Jake Pope, Dan Nacito, Lucas Mullen. Will Burkall even got a start out there. Practically half the roster has played the outfield.
AJ Madalena.
AJ Madalena, you're completely right. A relief pitcher for them. All these guys have come into spots that they're not necessarily used to due to injuries, availability, shifting for the Mammoths. The result has been the same, though, as the top team at Liberty Division. 2-0 here from Gogolski. Whacked down the first base line by Bonner, but foul. So the count now 2-1 with 1 away and no one on the base paths. The Mammoths still in front 3-2. The winner will move on to the ECCBL Championship tomorrow in Quakertown, Pennsylvania at Quakertown Memorial Park. That game starting at 1 p.m. Our broadcast will go live at 12:45. 2-1 down in the dirt. So the count now 3-1. A favorable spot here for Chase Bonner to try and get something started with 1 down. The 3-1 pitch from Gogolski. That runs inside. It's a 5-pitch walk to Chase Bonner and a 1-out walk. Trying to get that offense started once again, pulling on that ripcord of the lawnmower. Chase Bonner starting to fire up that engine.
And that's been the story of Bonner all year. He's just putting in strong at-bat after strong at-bat. I mean, he was the one that walked it off against the Generals to put them into this position where they're playing this game. And then today has done a good job as well, getting himself around. The Rider Commit has made his mark in the playoffs so far.
First pitch whacked up the middle, able to be gloved by Heffernan and fired over to first. It's a double play. Heffernan takes it to second himself and fires over to Michael McGinley over at first for a solid 4-3 double play. We head to the top of the 6th. Kings trying to put themselves back in front and get their first lead since the first inning when we return here on Jersey Baseball Nation. More Liberty Division Championship action when we return. Top of the 6th here from Moody Park. Still at the same score that we had going into the top of the 3rd, now 3 innings later. We stay stagnant. Mercer Mammoths 3, South Jersey Kings 2. Only a game separated them in the regular season, but the Mammoths have had the upper hand here today as Nick Garbusian back out there for his 6th inning of work. Rich Carabelli mentioned we're trying to get at least 5 out of him. They've done that. Looking for more now. First pitch in there, first strike. Second one fouled off.
Stayed in play. Wow.
Wow, it looked like that one was going to jump over at first base side fence. Instead, able to be picked up by Buzz Gresh for the first out. Really nice play, really nice vigilance from him to see that it stayed in play and get the first out.
It's a narrative we've talked about all year here at Moody, is that almost no foul balls stay in play, especially behind the plate, but also sometimes in the first and third base side, but it stays close enough for Gresh and makes the play for a stolen first out.
First pitch to Sean Heffernan in their first strike. That slider working really well for Garbusian today, especially against these righty hitters, similar to Heffernan. Another breaking ball. This one ends up low, so the count evens at 1. To the second baseman, Sean Heffernan, who popped out his first time up, singled on a ground ball over towards third base. And his third time popped out in foul territory to Buzz Gresh, like we just saw. So 1 for 2. Trying to find some offense for this Kings team that has not had a hit since the 3rd inning. Well, there's another one as that one slapped down the third base side. It'll stay in fair play as it trickles out towards left field. Heffernan on his way into second, and it's a standing double to get the Kings going here in the top of the 6th, courtesy of Sean Heffernan.
It was actually Frank Provenzano, and he crushed that one into the left side, and he's been hitting it hard. He got robbed the last time by Joel Bonner, and this time, Joel Bonner, all he could do is get to that ball once it was already on the ground, and Provenzano gets onto second base with 1 down, but the Kings have to find that way to get over the hump here. They've been a little bit stagnant as of late to try and get those runs over.
You're completely right about it being Provenzano. His second double of the day has been pulling the ball really well out towards left field. Another example of it right there. 2 for 3 so far. And now a chance to score and tie this game up with Will Shabona at the plate. 0 for 2 so far with a ground out and a pop out. 1 down and 1 on second for the Kings. Down 1 here in the top of the 6th. What can they do? The 0-1. Shabona thought it hit him for a second. Instead, they'll say it was just a ball. Garbusian gets the sign he likes, kicks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball slapped down the third base side, but foul.
Just that little bit early, you can kind of figure his eyes lit up when he saw that breaking pitch. Just that little bit early where chops it foul versus that being maybe down the line or in a gap.
Garbusian's slider has been nasty all season. These Kings hitters starting to finally figure it out after 5 innings. 1 down and Provenzano on second. Garbusian looking for the second out. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball lifted out towards right field, and that will get down. Provenzano pulls into third, and he'll be held up there. The throw goes home. It's going to allow Will Shabona to make his way over to second safely and get an extra bag. Great awareness there from Will Shabona to put another runner in scoring position for the Kings. Nice pickup there. Second and third for South Jersey.
That's a little bit of a mental miscue from Zanichi Steve. There's no real need to throw it hard to home there. You hit a cutoff, man. Provenzano, he's got some decent speed for a catcher standard, but not the fastest guy you're going to see. Really, Kimmick had that stop sign up immediately. There was no consideration to send him, and instead you allow Shabona onto second, and there's 2 runners in scoring position now.
So after 2 hits in the first 3 innings, none in the 4th or 5th, they've doubled the hit total here. Now with runners on second and third, a single would surely score both of them. As that pitch runs upstairs and over the head of Liam Schwinn for a 2-0 count now. It's Provenzano on third, Shabona on second, and a prime chance for the Kings to tie this one up or take the lead. Garbusian stares down the righty Schwinn, kicks and fires. The 2-0 popped out towards center That one keeps on ranging, and it's going to get over the head of Jordan Raba and kick all the way to the fence. Provenzano will score easily. Shabona on his way home. He's in there as well. And Liam Schwinn pulls in with a 2 RBI go-ahead triple to put the Kings up 4-3. Liam Schwinn with a very crucial hit to give the Kings a 1-run lead here in the top of the 6th.
What a huge swing from Liam Schwinn. He hits that hard to center, and as Raba was going back, it just kept trailing and trailing and trailing, and we know Raba also dealing with a little bit more of a gingerly back, maybe not running as hard as he possibly could 100% level, but still, Schwinn, incredible job with the power and then the speed to get into third on his bicycles, as Jeff loves to bring up with Liam Schwinn. And he changes this game completely, flips the momentum, where the Kings at one point were struggling to get over the hump the last couple innings, where they hit it hard, they got people into good spots, either first and second or second and third, and failed to come through. They did not fail here. Liam Schwinn clears the bases, a 2-run double, and the Kings have flipped this game on its head. They take the advantage now.
Liam Schwinn comes up massive when the lights get the brightest. That will do it for Nick Garbusian. Still responsible for Schwinn on third, but as it stands right now, his line 5 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, and 84 pitches as he exits this game. The Kings have vaulted themselves in front here in the top of the 6th. A new arm out there for Mercer. We'll tell you all about him when we return after this short break. Back here in the top of the 6th on Jersey Baseball Nation, where the South Jersey Kings have flipped this game on its head and taken the lead with a 2 RBI triple from Liam Schwinn as he whacked the ball out towards center field over the head of Jordan Raba and forced a early exit here in the top of the 6th from Nick Garbusian. On comes Graham Ross, making his 11th appearance of the season. Top 5 in strikeouts in the ECCBL. Came in and threw 41 pitches against the Gens in the semifinal round. Now here in the championship, coming into a big spot. First batter he'll face is Jason Bogart, who fouls away the first pitch he sees. It's Schwinn over on third. Bogart so far 0 for 2 today with a walk. And Ross now with a tall task to try and keep this game level where it's at and give his offense a chance to put themselves back in front.
And you speak of tall Mateo Menina also warming up in the pen behind him. We know that Ross had, as you'd mentioned, pitched in that Gens game just under that 45 pitch mark, 40-ish, and he was a strong 40. He helped settle that game down where the Gens were really putting it on the Mammoths to put that fight on him, and Ross was as controlled as ever. His curve was working as good as we've really ever seen it this year, and the reason why he's top end in strikeout stuff, and he's attacking these hitters early.
0-2 from Ross, fought away by Bogart. So we'll rewind and redo the 0-2. The Kings coming into this inning had 2 hits and 2 runs on the day. Now with a 1-run lead, up 4-3 and 5 hits. Can they tack on any more? The 0-2 cut away once again. Bogart was one of the players that Tyler Kimmick, the head coach of the South Jersey Kings, mentioned as a real bright spot in that semifinal round. A 12-run victory over the New Brunswick Matrix. Can he shine through once again? The 0-2 from Graham Ross upstairs. This, the 7th meeting of the season between these two teams. The two of them have been the top two teams in the Liberty Division most of the way. 1-2 from Ross, slapped into play, gloved by Bonner, and fired over to first in time. Great job by the Mercer Mammoths defense to check on Schwinn over at third, force him back to the bag, and get a massive second out.
Even though it went past the glove of Ross, he still did his job, the mental side of those kind of plays. He made sure he was keeping that eye on Schwinn. If he was to grab it, really, Schwinn had no reason to run because of it. It was a weak enough grounder to where they could keep that in control and get a smooth throw to first.
So Bogart retired, and the job becomes a little bit easier for Graham Ross now with 2 outs, still the runner on third. However, facing yet another strong hitter is King's lineup filled with them. The one up to the plate now, Owen Rozzi. Lefty-lefty matchup. At beneficial for Ross as the 1-0 fired upstairs. Count now moves to 2-0. Rozzi 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a extra base hit robbery by Joel Bonner with a leaping catch out in left field. Ross at the ready and fires the 2-0. Slapped over towards the right side, gloved by Gresh. Race to the first base bag, and Gresh, the winner of that pursuit. Real nice play to dive, pick up the ball, and beat out the speedy Rozzi to the bag. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Kings now in front after a 2 RBI triple from Liam Schwinn, trying to move on to their first ever ECCBL championship when we return. Home half of the 6th, where the Mammoths now find themselves behind 4-3. Kings in front, and Anthony Gogolski back out there once again for another inning of work. Came in relief of Andrew Forrester in the 4th inning. As the first pitch from Joel Bonner popped out towards center field. Easy play for Mason Myers for the first out. Gogolski has come in and been very strong. 1 strikeout and only 1 walk, no runs, and 1 hit. Very efficient as well. That one only his 22nd pitch of the day with 7 outs recorded so far. First pitch he fires. Fouled away by Brandon Law, 0 for 2 today with a walk. Oh, 1 here from Gogolski. In there for a called strike. Real nice pitch to find the bottom half of that zone and go ahead to a very favorable count. No one on the base paths and 1 away. Kicks and fires the 0-2. Breaking ball slapped down the first base side, picked up by McGinley. That one barely stayed fair. much to McKinley's benefit as he's able to run over to the first base bag and get an easy second out. Anthony Golgolski has come in relief of Andrew Forrester and been extremely strong, firing a ton of strikes in there and generating a lot of balls in play that his defense has backed him up on. Now with 2 away, facing Nick Garbusian, 0 for 2 today with a pair of swinging strikeouts, trying to get out with a quick bottom of the 6th. 0-1 from Gogolski. Runs upstairs and out. So the count levels at 1. Garbusian's pitching duties are done, but he will remain in the game as the designated hitter for a team that so far with 7 hits, trying to find that offensive spark that they had in the early innings. The 1-1 in there for a called strike. Beautiful slider from Golgolski. Has only thrown 7 pitches in this inning so far. Here's the 1-2. Popped out towards center. It's a long run for Myers, and he's able to make the catch. 8-pitch inning for Anthony Golgolski to keep things level with the Kings in front by 1. A stellar performance in the most important of spots here in the ECCBL Liberty Division Championship. South Jersey up 4-3 as we head to the top of the 7th when we return.
Top of the 7th. 3 innings remain. The South Jersey Kings lead this game 4-3 after Liam Schwinn hit a 2 RBI triple in the top half of the 6th to give the Kings the lead. And it'll be Noah Danza to step up against the reliever of Graham Ross. We had seen him in that Generals game in the first playoff matchup, and now Ross out there again and showing the same stuff, attacking the zone against Noah Danza.
And for the first time, the Kings will come to bat with the lead. They've scored runs to take a lead and tie the game, but for the first time, they'll start an inning leading.
So he'll foul that one off, so 2 strikes on the Mississippi State commit. Trying to get the energy continuing for the Kings and carry as much momentum as they can. The 0-2 delivery from Ross misses inside.
Mississippi State is a good baseball school. The SEC is
They are really strong.
They're really strong, having won a title back in 2021 over Vanderbilt. Mississippi State.
No slouch of a program.
Absolutely not. In a SEC conference that has been
1-2
ruling
misses outside.
college baseball for the last 7 years or so. They've won every college baseball title almost.
They've been in the competition in that kind of race for the last pretty much decade. As Danza will sky this one to left center. Raba running back and he will get there to make the play. Danza got as much as he could, but out into that deep left center gap, and it'll be the first out of the inning, but it was not down quietly. It was as loud as it comes off the bat of Noah Danza, and it'll be Mason Myers to take on a lefty-lefty matchup against Ross.
Graham Ross definitely thought he just gave up a home run. You could see in his body language that he thought that ball was gone as Raba kept running back and back and back, and he was just like, please stop, like, don't get out, and it didn't. But Ross, for a moment, thought he just gave up a home run.
The 1-0 dropped in for a strike. So 1-1 now, the count. Myers trying to find his way on base once again. The delivery, and pitch breaks in on his hands, and he gets him swinging. So 1-2 now. Ross showing off his great stuff. You wonder, probably going to go to that curveball one of these next two pitches. Depends on if he wants to play with the fastball first, then go to the curve, or just shoot it right here. So the 1-2 delivery goes with a fastball and misses high. But not necessarily a bad miss there. We'll see if he sequences that with the curve on the 2-2.
No, but in playoff games when you're trying to be efficient and
fastball fouled off.
When you're trying to work through a lot of innings and be efficient, it's not the worst idea to try to throw something a bit closer and really hone in on the zone on a 1-2 or even 0-2. Especially when the entirety of the season, it's kind of just been the same 0-2 automatic ball.
The 2-2 swung on and missed by Myers. Ross gets the strikeout, and there's two down here in the top of the 7th. It'll be Michael McGinley to step into the box. Had a double earlier in the game. And Ross has stolen that momentum right back. The Kings took it in the top half of the 6th, and the next time right now at the plate, the Mammoths have taken it right back from their grasp. First pitch to McGinley is low and inside. So 1-0. Ross came in relief of the starter Nick Garbusian. Gave them a solid length, as much as he could give them. The second also misses high. McGinley has been a strong bat here at Moody. Does have a player of the game nod this season, as he fouls the 2-0 back to the backstop. McGinley, a product of Rutgers Camden, trying to come through for the South Jersey Kings with 2 down. We'll see a 3-0 pitch from Ross, and that will miss low, rather. Now the count should be. So Ross set the 3-ball count. Will deliver. The pitch skied into center field. This one a little easier for Raba to track in that left center gap. He'll come in and make the play. So Graham Ross works another scoreless inning in his playoff season. And we'll head to the bottom half of the 7th. Do the Mercer Mammoths find that answer off the Kings to get that run back? They trail 4-3. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. We'll return in just a second on Jersey Baseball Nation.
for the Mammoths.
Bottom of the 7th, and Anthony Gogolski will return to the mound for the Kings. He's been as efficient as there has been in this game so far. And he's come in relief of Andrew Forster, who was getting hit hard and has settled this game down for the Kings, and then they came through with 2 runs in the 6th. And they lead 4-3. He's trying to continue them on this trend. But it'll be against Zenichi Steve, who has a double and a hard hit single on the day so far. It's the 0-1. Bounces in the dirt. He's been as strong of a bat as you're going to find here today. It'll be Zenichi Steve and then flip over to Q Williams. So 1-1 count from Gogolski. Misses low and inside. So 2-1 falls the count. Delivery, swing, and a miss. Steve a bit early on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right fielder on the day. Trying to restart this Mammoths offense that has been scoreless the last 4 frames they've come to the plate. He'll chop that one to the second base side. Heffernan trails back into the outfield grass and will throw it over to first to make the first out of the inning. They get Steve on the ground out. It'll be Q Williams stepping up to the plate. Jordan Raba and Jay Slater do behind him.
Number 3, second baseman, Q Williams.
Q Williams pulled up on that. Mercer coaching staff not happy or pleased that he did not fully run it out, as we saw even earlier in the game where Q Williams ran a ground ball hard and nearly beat it out, and you'll see him take off here.
Chops it towards short. The throw over from Schwinn picked by McGinley, and in time. So a great job from Liam Schwinn to run in, get a strong throw over to first. A good job from McGinley to bring it in through the dirt. And they're 2 down now after back-to-back groundouts from the Mammoths. It's Jordan Raba stepping up to the dish. Gogolski continues to just attack these Mammoths hitters. First pitch to Raba is in the dirt. Raba, as we've mentioned throughout this game, struggling a little bit with that back issue, something that is definitely certainly unconsciously in the back of his mind. And we've seen it even in the plays that he's had to go in the outfield. He's giving it his all. We know that. But as you were saying, Max, earlier, he's giving 100% of what percentage, though? You talked about that, and I actually really liked how you kind of worded that, because that's exactly true. They're always giving their all, but what's your maximum level at that moment in time? And right now, Roba's not exactly at his peak. It's not any fault of his own, but he's giving it his all, and in a 2-1 count right now.
That's just the unfortunate situation that sometimes you're put in as an athlete, not just a baseball player, is injuries. They happen. It's the world, unfortunately, is not a video game where you can just simply click a button and turn them off, although as much as we would love that to be true.
Sliding play from Sean Heffernan. Gets that one in the outfield grass, throws it over to first, and once again, another ground out for the Mammoths. 3 in the inning. Gogolski, a fast. Bottom of the 7th. We head to the top of the 8th. The South Jersey Kings return to the plate, trying to find those insurance runs. Will they find them? We'll find out when we return here on Jersey Baseball Nation. Welcome back to Moody Park for the Liberty Side Championship. The winner heads to the ECCBL World Series to face off against the Keystone Division winner, as the first pitch to Sean Heffernan is fouled off. And we'll see how they can get to Ross. The lefty stepped up, pitched a scoreless last frame. The Kings trying to add any insurance they can. We know how good the Mammoths are at coming up with the win late. They did it in their first round matchup against the Generals, and across the season they've done it well, as Heffernan grounds that one towards second. Q Williams unable to bring that one in. So Sean Heffernan will get on to first base. Hit that one on the right side, and they will start the inning with a chance. That is an error on Q Williams. So not what you want to see. If you're the Mammoths, you don't typically see this from them. They've made 4 errors so far in the day, where across the season we talked about how strong they were in the field.
Absolutely an uncharacteristic mistake that we've seen, and the Kings, I talked about it at the top of the game, they're the best at taking advantage of mistakes, and so we'll see. We'll see if the Kings can take advantage of another mistake and extend their lead even further here.
The 1-0 in for a called strike to Frank Provenzano, the catcher on the day. A lot of times we're talking about his defensive showing, catching those runners, but today has crushed the ball at the plate. Whether it's Joel Bonner robbing of a base hit or his last time up, had a double hit hard down the left side as he'll swing and miss on that pitch. So 1-2. The count to Provenzano from the pitcher of Graham Ross. It's been a key staple to both playoff appearances so far. As a pickoff attempt, Heffernan will get back safely. And some arms just standing around in the Kings bullpen. For the Mammoths, it is Hallahan and Menino just thrown back to each other. So the 1-2 from Provenzano is fouled off. So 1-2 to the catcher of the Kings. With nobody down and Heffernan on first after an error from Q Williams. With a chance against Ross and a 1-2 count. Delivery misses outside. Slater does have a strong arm, but the Kings have been able to steal a time or two here today. It was what helped to kind of set up into those 2 runs they ended up scoring. As a swing and a miss from Frank Provenzano, and Graham Ross gets him to chase outside the zone, and that is the first out of the inning. And now it'll be Will Shabona to step up and try and get this offense to continue to go. He shows bunt and will foul off into the backstop. We talked with the coaches across this season, and each time we asked them about it with these playoff situations, we're going to do everything that we can. Whether if we have to put a bunt down, we're going to put a bunt down. And the Kings have done that a couple of times this season, as we've talked with Coach Tyler Kimmick. The 0-1 misses inside. And it becomes ever so crucial to not only have the power, to have the contact tool, but to have the gamesmanship, to have that understanding of the game to pull out the small ball when you need it. The 1-1, a pickoff attempt. Heffernan read it off the bat. And he'll get back safely. 1-1 the count. Candlesticks, as Charlie Jones would say. Shabona will sky that one into right field. Steve will get over to his left and make the play. He tries to throw it to first, and Gresh had to jump up. It gets past him into Slater, but no advancements. They tried to steal the final out there. However, Heffernan got back safely. It'll be a fly out for Will Shabona, and now it's Liam Schwinn. Had the big hit his last time up, that 2 RBI triple that gave the Kings a 4-3 lead. And that one hits him on the back. So not exactly how Ross wants this inning to go. Schwinn will go on to first. Heffernan on his way to second. And it will be Jason Bogart at the plate with 2 runners on and 2 down.
Now can it be the Kings to pull off the 2-out rally? It's going to take quite a bit, but Mercer's known for their 2-out rallies. Can South Jersey get one going, and what great insurance runs it would be.
Huge chance for insurance with 2 runners on. Ross's first delivery to Bogart is skied into right field. Steve coming in to make the play. So a loud inning in the top of the 8th from the Kings, but nothing around to score. So Graham Ross is able to escape the frame. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. The Mercer Mammoths still looking for that answer. We'll see if Gogolski goes back out on the mound. It appears so. So we'll be right back in the bottom of the 8th. See how it plays out. Can the Mammoths get the runs back? We're second on Jersey Baseball Nation. Welcome back to Moody Park, bottom of the 8th. The South Jersey Kings lead this game 4-3. It was Liam Schwinn that gave them the lead. It's Anthony Gogolski who has settled this game down on the mound and attacking these hitters, as Jay Slater will attack the first pitch, and that will bloop down for a base hit. The Northwestern product drops it down the left field side, and it's a leadoff runner for the Mercer Mammoths. They are looking for that answer. They've been scoreless the last 5 times at the plate. And it'll be Chase Bonner to step up at the dish.
And at this point, you'll take it any way you can get it. The way that this game is going and how late it is in the game and being the leadoff man.
First pitch to Bonner is inside. We'll give you a little bit of an update on that Southside and Pocono Timber Rattlers game on that other side of the bracket, as the 1-0 will be in there for a called strike. Winner of this game goes to the final. Winner of the Keystone Division side goes to the final. And currently, Southside through 5 leads the Pocono Timber Rattlers 6-4. So as it projects right now, it's a Southside and South Jersey matchup. But ball lined by Bonner. It's not able to be grabbed by Heffernan. Slater will go first to third, and suddenly the Mammoths are threatening with runners on the corners. So what was an efficient last couple innings for Gogolski has seen a sudden switch as Pocono has just hit a solo home run, so it is 6-5. Southside still leads, but Pocono within 1. 1-1 count to Buzz Gresh, misses high. Or the first pitch, rather, to Bonner on first and Slater on third. 1-0, chopped to the left side. Slater will go home. A little bit of slip from Schwinn. Nobody covering third. And Bonner is going to take full advantage, goes first to third. So a base hit for the Mammoths gets them a productive inning so far. A chaotic one. Jay Slater comes in to score. We have a tie ball game here at Moody Park. It was just a weird kind of sequence on that one. Gresh puts it in play, and Danza was going for it, ended up leaving it for Schwinn, and Schwinn ended up slipping. And that was what allowed for not only Gresh to go over to first, but Bonner to go first to third. And not the sequence you wanted if you're the South Jersey Kings. Felt like you had everything in your hands, and now it's flipped. A tie ball game here, 4-4. Just a tough situation to be in. And you're going to need your best stuff from Gogolski, who in the first parts of this relief appearance, as efficient and strong as there could be, but facing one of his biggest pressures here in the bottom of the 8th. This pitch misses inside. 1-0. The run for the lead is standing on third for the Mammoths. The 1-0 in for a called strike. To Joel Bonner. Lefty on lefty, the 1-1. Big hack comes up empty. Count moves to 1-2. Nobody down. The Mammoths trying to take advantage of what was a little bit of a unorthodox play and really put the damage on the Kings as Bonner will sky this one to right. The right fielder Rozzi was playing deep, but that one stayed the outfield grass. Heffernan calls everyone off and makes the play. We've seen a couple times this game where Heffernan's had to go out there at the edge of the outfield grass.
The ball's just not really traveling. The wind, the little bit that we've gotten is blowing out towards dead center, but there really isn't much of anything, and so this ball's just not carrying today as some action going on in the Kings bullpen.
Pitch to Lowell is skied to right field. Rozzi heading back, and that ball is gone. Brandon Lowell sends a farewell letter, and the Mercer Mammoths take a big advantage here in the bottom of the 8th. The Kings had all the momentum. They were not able to come through, and now Brandon Lowell's 3-run homer gives the Mammoths a 6-4 lead. Or 7-4 rather. Apparently I cannot do math in my head. And Gogolski's day comes to a stark end. That was a huge at-bat and huge sequencing from the Mammoths to be able to get first and third multiple times and then to have that big swing from Brandon Lowell. So we're going to go to a quick break as we will see a new arm on the mound. We'll be back in a second. Make sure to stay tuned on Jersey Baseball Nation. The new arm on the mound is Brady Search. After what was as big of a swing as you are going to find in the ECCBL this season so far. The Mammoths already thought they had it when Bonner was the one that sent them here with a walk-off base hit. But Brandon Law, a 3-run shot to break the game open and switch everything. That pendulum was swinging Kings, Kings, Kings. A hard swing the other way, all the way into the Mammoths' favor. And now the Kings have to not only get out of this frame, but then also find a way to muster up 3 runs at least.
I guess you could call that a Mammoth home run.
Yeah.
But what a moment for Brandon Law. It's felt like this whole season.
As Garbusian will swing and miss on 3 pitches. Will go down on the strikeout.
It's felt like this whole season. He's shown his ability to hit the ball, but I don't feel like he's really truly displayed the power that he's got in his bat. And that was the moment there where it's been solidified as the fact that he's got pop.
He made no doubt of that one. Rozzy kept having to go back and ended up having to do a little bit of sightseeing. Law, just a great swing from the lefty. Searches 1-2 to Steve. Or misses inside. Or rather, it is a 2-0 count. You never know what's going to happen here in the ECCBL. And still, we don't know. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in Jersey, baby.
True. 2-0 from Search to Steve, fouled off to the right side. And now you figure the arm of Hallahan getting as fresh as he can be. He's been that save guy, that closer for the Mammoths. We'll see.
He's warming up.
Steve will loop that one to the left side. This inning, nowhere close to done. You never know. And Steve will loop that one to left field. Shabona will throw it in. It's a 2-out base hit for Zanichi Steve. And Q Williams trying to keep this Mammoth 4-run inning going.
Number 3, second baseman, Q Williams.
Z on base, Q up to bat. Well, we got us a couple of letters on the team.
The Kings thought that they had the throne, but they've been decrowned for now. Search's first pitch to Williams is low. He's just looking to escape this inning, give the Kings that shot to have to get 3.
I guess you could say he's searching.
He is. He's searching for that final out here in the 8th inning. Count is 1-1 to Q Williams. Delivery from Search. Breaking pitch dropped below the zone. Did not get the chase. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
Didn't get the chase, didn't get the strike. Did not pass go and do not collect $200.
2-1. Misses outside. So a hitter's count for Q Williams with Zanichi Steve on first with a single. 3-1 is fouled off. We'll try it once more. Every single time it feels like you have the Mammoths down. It feels like there's no way that they could possibly find a way to win, find a way to put themselves in a position to win, and they still do it. Every time.
That's what makes this team so good. It's about battling, and they've done it in every count.
3 balls turns to 4. Q Williams will head over to first base, and it'll be Jordan Raba with 2 runners on and 2 down. It's back-to-back 2-out base runners. And after the home run, the Mammoths are not stopping yet. The first pitch from the righty to the lefty. In for a strike. Back and forth throughout this game, but then it settled down a bit. The 6th, the Kings scored 2, and here in the 8th, the Mammoths have scored 4. Mercer Mammoths lead 7-4. 11 hits for the Mammoths to 5 hits for the Kings. But the Mammoths have overcome 4 errors.
It's not been the cleanest defensive game, something they're certainly going to want to clean up should they and if they make the championship game.
0-2 inside. And even for the last inning of this game, it's something that you have to make sure that you're cleaning up. You don't want to give any momentum to Kimmick's side. The 1-2. Runners on first and second to Raba. Inside on his hands and fouled off. So they'll try it once more. Seems like all the arms for the Mammoths are as fresh as they can be. Nobody actively throwing right now.
So many foul balls. Carabelli's got, 5 baseballs in his hand right now, in his 2 hands, from collecting all of the foul balls from fans.
1-2 misses low, so what was quickly 2 strikes has turned to 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down with 2 on. 22 to number 2. The 2-2 delivery misses.
Too many 2s. Let's get a 3 on the board. There we go. Just too many
Reminds
2s.
me of the game where we had so many 3s.
Oh, my God.
It would just not stop.
Tormenting. We were tormented by 3s.
But a full count now on Jordan Raba, the delivery. Skied into center field. Myers tracking back for it. He's not able to make the catch. Zanichi Steve will come in to score. Q Williams on his horse. He will come to score. So a 2-run double from Jordan Raba extends the lead to 5. And after the homer, you get a 4-run inning. That's great. And what do they do with 2 outs? Zanichi Steve, single. Q Williams, walk. Jordan Raba, double. It's just as good as you can get.
This Mercer team does not go away quietly, and I've talked about it ad nauseum today, that they love to rally with 2 outs. That's what they do. They just find ways to piece together a couple of hits, some walks, get on base, and find a way to score. And that's now just 2 more insurance runs to pile it on.
So now Jay Slater fouls off the first pitch to the right side.
Now the question is for Carabelli. Now you got a 5-run lead. Do you throw Giovanni Hallahan out?
There's that mental aspect of being a closer.
But do you throw him out there with the fact of a championship game tomorrow now while he hasn't thrown much this week? Throwing him 3 times in about 5 days.
5 days is a lot of work.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and it can get taxing on a pitcher, especially a guy who's been a reliever all season.
And that's a dynamic they're going to have to manage. We know Menino was also fresh, so they have a free choice. We'll see what Carabelli turns to. And obviously this certainly is a big proponent of it, the fact that they've put up 6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th.
There is no minimum 3-batter faced rule, though, here in the ECCBL, so Carabelli can throw out a different arm like Mateo Menino, and then if he gets in trouble, put in Giovanni Hallahan just in case. So
it's certainly a challenging spot to be in, something that manager Carabelli is going to have to work around, but anyone in a big game is going to have to work around some things, especially when you're going to try and make it to the championship game. You have to always consider, even though it's an elimination thing, if you're not preparing yourself for the next game, you're not doing yourself service, but also if you're not focusing on this game, you're not doing yourself service. But they've done a good job of managing that, and that'll be kind of that final battle here for this Mammoth side as ball makes the count 2-2. Kings just cannot find that final out. It was a big swing from Brandon Lull, the 3-run homer that put them on top, and then a 2-run double from Jordan Raba. As a grounder to short, Schwinn will field it, throw over to first. And the play will be made, but not before Brandon Lull crushes the lead-off swing to right field. Gives them the lead in a 6-run bottom of the 8th. We'll take a quick break and then take you through how the bracket's shaping up right now. We'll be right back for the top of the 9th Will the Mammoths be able to close, or is there a big rally coming for the South Jersey Kings? Make sure to stay tuned. We will be right back from Moody on Jersey Baseball Nation. Welcome back to Moody, and here's how the bracket is shaping out so far. Currently, as it stands, the Mammoths lead the South Jersey Kings 9-4 on the Liberty side. They would represent the Liberty division if all results are to hold. And on the Keystone side, South side survived second and third with one out for the Pocono Timber Rattlers to hold a 6-5 lead. They are currently playing in the bottom of the sixth. South side would be the representative for the Keystone side if results are to hold. We would see the Mammoths be the home team against Southside in that ECCBL World Series. And we really don't know how these results are going to go. There's plenty of time left in the other side. And there's a lot of back and forth. It was the South Jersey Kings that got on the board first with one. Then the Mammoths responded with two. Kings got one, Mammoths got one in the second. And after that, the next three innings were scoreless. And then Liam Schwinn, a two-run triple in the sixth. But the Mammoths, as we just saw in the bottom of the eighth, came up big.
There's so many aspects to baseball, but the biggest one that a lot of teams try to win is the battle of the big inning. Who can have more of them, and who can have the biggest one? And quite frankly, there was no big inning until there was in the bottom of the eighth for Mercer. They had the biggest one so far, and they had the only one.
As Owen Rozzi will foul the 1-0 to the right side. 5 hits on the day for the Kings to the Mammoths 12. 3 outs remaining potentially in the Kings season. The Mammoths leaving Graham Ross out there. You have to figure the fact that he's most likely, because of pitch count, not going to pitch in that championship. One of the dynamics that Carabelli is considered. You don't want to use Hallahan and Menino if you don't have to. They could be as fresh as can be tomorrow.
At this point, also with the 5-run lead, it just feels unnecessary to burn an arm when you've got someone in Graham Ross who has been dealing for the most part and has settled back in after the 2 runs allowed back in the 6th. So there's just no need necessarily unless he gets into some pretty hefty trouble. But by that point, we're figuring less than 2 outs and a couple of guys on and a run or 2 in already.
So 2-2 count from Ross to Rozzi. And that one will be lined to the right side for a base hit. Zanichi Steve will grab it and throw it in. And that's the start the Kings need, but they're going to need a lot more.
They're going to need all of it. They need 5 runs to stay in this one, 6 to take the lead. And quite frankly, the way that Mercer's offense has been, they probably need 7 to have a chance of going to 10 innings. And
So
that's 7 runs in this inning alone.
1 inning.
I believe potentially to be able to stay in this just simply because of how explosive Mercer's offense can be and has been, and we've seen, and the clutch factor that they bring and the cool, calm collectiveness that they have, being able to come back, being down a run in the bottom of the 8th, being able to tack on more runs with 2 outs.
The 0-1 pitch misses high to Noah Danza. So 1-1. Product of Gloucester Catholic, who, as we've talked about, a very storied program, and they've found ways to win. So he has experience in pulling out wins in key moments to pull out championships and make championship games. Can he help the Kings make their first? It's going to take a full team effort This is where the team aspect of baseball comes in for both sides. The Kings need everyone to have their best at-bats, and in the field, the Mammoths need to work as a collective unit to make sure that they're fielding cleanly in a game where maybe you're not your best. And that's what the good teams do. It may not be your best day in a certain aspect, but you still have to find a way to persevere. So 2-2, the count from Ross to Danza. Delivery. Swing and a miss. Noah Danza down on a strikeout. Goes down swinging, and Graham Ross continues his strong playoff appearances so far and has been a key cornerstone to why this side has felt comfortable in the late innings.
Almost up Mason Myers 0 for 4. He's due. And he's got someone with a lot of pop and power behind his bat. So this could be one swing of the bat could spark a rally, absolutely, for sure. And this could be the bat that could do it.
First pitch fouled back towards us. Count 0-1. 0-1 misses outside. Owen Rozzi, the runner on first with a leadoff single. Danza goes down swinging. The other aspect of this inning is that Ross had a bunch of lefties due up. As Myers grounds that one, fielded by Q Williams, tossed to Bonner, but the throw to first is not in time. We know the arm that Chase Bonner has. He gave it his best effort. But they get the fielder's choice, and that's a trade you will take because the Kings are down to their final out. The Mammoths, 1 out away from being the Liberty Division representative once again. And it'll be Michael McGinley to try and start a 2-out rally. First pitch in for a strike. Ross has had his best stuff, but he's going to need it if he wants to get that closing pitch. McGinley will line that one to left field, and Joel Bonner will make the play. So through 9, the Mercer Mammoths take the 9-4 win in the Liberty Division Championship side. They will be the representative in the ECCBL World Series. Congratulations to the Mercer Mammoths. A great game overall, and it's been a run of heroics. The Trenton Generals gave them their best shot. What did they do? They fought through in the late innings, and Chase Bonner got the walk-off base hit. Here, once again at Moody, the Mammoths faced the Kings. 1 versus 2. Played each other tightly back and forth. The Kings had taken the momentum from Carabelli's side, and then we talked about it, that Mammoth bottom of the 8th, where it was Brandon Law that got the big swing that gave them the lead. The 3-run homer he sent over the right field wall, and then with 2 outs, they continued that rally going, and Jordan Raba extended it for a 6-run bottom of the 8th. Graham Ross does a great job in relief, and he's able to close it out for a 9-4 victory. They head to the final, and we'll see who they go on to face in the final when that Keystone game is to close.
It was a great season for the South Jersey Kings. They really showed a lot of fight and might and came out and played great game of baseball today. Just in the end, came up just that bit short with the big inning in the bottom of the 8th. And Mercer, they're looking to defend. And everybody knew it coming into the season that Mercer was the team to beat. Speaking of all the coaches and even the Mammoths coaches, they knew the target was on their back.
They had the banner.
They had the banner. They came out first game of the season with the championship winners banner, hanging it right on their dugout, and they knew with confidence that they were putting the target on themselves, and they knew
bet on yourself and
bet on themselves. They knew what they were getting into, and they showed off why they are the defending champs and why everyone knew that they were the team to beat. And at the end of the day, no one could take them down. The best team in the Liberty Division now heading off to take on the winner of the battle in the Keystone, which is yet to be decided, but is certainly a close one.
So that will do it here at Moody. Whether it was Charlie Jones with you or Max Raymond or Joshua Yuhas, thank you so much for joining us here at Moody. The Mercer Mammoths advanced to the ECCBL World Series with a 9-4 victory. We will see you in Quakertown when the two sides, the Liberty and the Keystone Division, face off to grab the championship. Until then, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and get ready because we're in for a good one on Saturday. We'll be back with you then. That's all here from Jersey Baseball Nation.